You are here because you want to know 10 Boros cards, the color combination of red and white in Commander, that will take your Boros deck to the absolute next level. So stay tuned. Do not go anywhere because we are going to reveal those 10 cards that you absolutely want to know. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to give you tons of bonus content as well. Because at Gerudo, we want to make you the best Commander player possible. All right, so stay tuned for all of this fun. I promise you, this episode will change the way you look at Commander. Now, my name is Bobby Maximus. You may have seen some of my other work, Muscles and Magic: The Gathering. And if you know anything about me, you know I love Commander decks. As it stands right now, I have 75 fully completed Commander decks. But when I started playing Commander, I'm going to say about 5 years ago, there was a massive learning curve and there wasn't a lot of resources, right? A lot of conflicting information all over the interwebs. So I made this series in conjunction with Gerudo called Commander for Dummies that's aimed at simplifying the process and aimed at making you the very best Commander player possible. We do these template style videos. We've done every color. We've done blue, we've done green, we've done white, we've done red, we've done black. We've also done almost every single color pair. And within a few weeks from now, every single color pair will be available for viewing on YouTube or the Gerudo site. And we've got so much more in store. So make sure you join Gerudo. It is absolutely free. It is your #1 platform for gaming, for fun, and for friends. But with that in mind, we need to talk about these cards. So let's get down to business. And as promised, we've got some bonus material for you. Now, you know what arguably is the most important aspect of a game of Commander, or your Commander deck, if you will, I guess is what I'm trying to say? The land base. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, but having a good land base is everything. So in these videos, I want to talk about these absolute auto-include Boros lands. Now, the first one is obviously a true duel. People don't have a lot of these, all right? These are some rare cards. Now, I'm fortunate enough to be playing since Unlimited, so I've got a bunch of them, but I've got to show it. It's Plateau. It's not inexpensive. These are really expensive reserve list cards. Add either a red or a white mana to your mana pool. It counts as both mountain and plains and is affected by spells that affect either, but it doesn't come in tapped. This is a true duel. It's one of the best lands in all of Commander history. So if budget's not an issue, obviously get yourself a duel. If budget is an issue, the next best thing, you can make an argument. Oh, I've got it right here. I almost forgot to include it. Spectator Seating. It's one of those Battle Bond type lands, all right? It's been reprinted a few times, but Spectator Seating enters battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. Now, it doesn't get the mountains or plains designations like Plateau does, which does have some implications on the game, but it is not going to come in tapped because chances are you're playing with 2 or more people. So get yourself a Spectator Seating. I would make the argument that you don't have a Plateau. Spectator Seating might be the next best thing. The other ones I use a lot are these Pain lands, the Battlefield Forge. All right, I have a whole stack of these at my disposal for when I am deck building, just all kinds of staples. These I consider staples. If my deck has multicolors in it, I promise you, you can go look at my Mox Field, Bobby Maximus, it's got Pain lands in it, but you tap it, you add a colorless mana, or you tap it and you add a red or a white. Battlefield Forge deals 1 damage to you. The Arid Mesa, great fetch land, if you will. Pay 1 life, sacrifice Arid Mesa, search your library for a mountain, hence the name fetch land, or a plains card and put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. Allows you to get a mountain, allows you to get a plains, and if there's any type of effects you have where you can sacrifice a land, this works really, really well. We have the Inspiring Vantage. Inspiring Vantage enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or few other lands, so it can come in untapped potentially, and you get a red or a white mana, another land that I absolutely love. the Sun Bill of Urge. And listen, I love Ether Drift. I might be in the minority there, but I think over time, time's going to be kind to this set. But these Verge lands are incredible. I judge a land, or I judge a set by its rare land cycle. And the Verge lands are unreal. Add a white mana, or you add a red mana. Activate only if you have a mountain or a plains. I know I've got some more cards here too. I am looking for an elegant, here it is, the Elegant Parlor. You see, I just have cards everywhere in this house. But Elegant Parlor enters the battlefield tapped. This is called a Surveil land from Murders at Carlisle Manor. When Elegant Parlor enters the battlefield, Surveil 1. That means you look at the top of your deck. You can put it in your graveyard if you don't want it, or if you do want it, because you can pull it out of your graveyard, all right? And it allows for card sorting, so a great double land, and it's a mountains or a plains, which is great, which means you can fish for it. And then we have these pathway lands. I love these pathway lands. The Needle Verge pathway on the other side, it's the Pillar Verge pathway. You have this in your hand, you're playing. What do I need? Do I need a mountain or do I need a plains? And you can put it down however you want. So another great choice. In a lot of my decks that have multicolors, I will use these. And you'll see these are, for the most part, sleeved. Now, I do use this in decks. I just happen to have an extra copy around. But these are cards I actually play with, cards I actually believe in. And I do have spectator seating in my decks. I do have a bunch of plateaus in my deck. So there is your land base again for Commander. Let's review it because it is important. We have the Plateau. We have the Battlefield Forge. We have the Arid Mesa. We have the Inspiring Vantage. We have the Sun Bill of Verge. And we have the Pillar Verge Pathway. Great cards. Now, we have an honorable mention in the house, and we have the Talisman of Conviction. All right, talismans are important. You want to make a better Commander deck, I'm going to tell you right now. Mana Ramp, Mana Ramp, Mana Ramp. I'm going to say it again. Mana Ramp. And yeah, I'm going to say it one more time. Mana Ramp. And Mana Rocks help you do that. When I build any type of deck, the first thing I'm going to look at is my Mana Rocks. I want a lot of Mana Rocks. Sometimes in a Commander deck, upwards of 12 of them. But the talismans are great. They're very similar to those pain lands in that you tap and add a colorless mana, or you tap and you add a red or a white, and Talisman of Conviction deals 1 damage to you. Some people like the signets better, and they are really, really good. I have my handy little pile of staples, if you will, for deck building, and I am going to use a Boros signet. You pay 1, you can add a red and a white. So you pay 1, you get 2. It is a great deal, and it is great for color fixing. It is also great for Mana Ramp with the Boros deck. So listen, I know it's not sexy. I know it's not flashy. I would have put these in my top 10. They arguably could be 1 and 2. Make sure you get talismans. Make sure you get signets. And so with all that done, we talked about lands. We talked about Mana Rocks. Now it's time to talk about the 10 cards. You've been waiting for this moment for your Boros deck. No particular order. Taunt from the Rampart. Arguably the best one right off the hop. I use this in my Boja deck. These are cards I actually believe in, all right? There's no fraudulent stuff here. I'm not just throwing cards at you because I think you need to go get them, or I'm looking for some rare, obscure card nobody's ever heard of because I'm trying to make myself sound smart. These are cards I actually use on the regular. This is one of the best cards from the Lord of the Rings set. I think it's absolutely bonkers. Taunt from the Rampart. It costs 5 mana. It's high cost, but it's worth it. You go to all creatures your opponents control. That means they're going to have to attack, and ideally, they have to attack. I shouldn't say ideally. They have to attack somebody else other than you if able. So not as useful in 1v1, but in a 4-person game, this is incredible. And until your next turn, those creatures can't block, which means you are open for business to run these people over while they can't block. This card usually knocks a bunch of people out of the game completely. It is very powerful. I would strongly recommend it. I need more of these, frankly. I need more of them. I need to make a mental note. I'm actually going to write it down right now. All right? I'm going to put it down. So you're going to have to bear with me. I need to get a couple of more of these. Taunt the Rampart. Okay, good. Got it. Because I do want to order more of these because they are super useful in a Boro deck. Every so often I do these series and I'm like, I need more of these cards and I need more of these. One of my favorite Planeswalkers, one of the strongest Planeswalkers ever. It's not top 3, right? But it's probably top 5. You can make that argument for Nahiri the Harbinger. +2 ability, you may discard a card. If you do draw a card, drawing a card in a game of Commander is everything. We've talked about mana ramp, the number. I'm getting excited. I almost feel like I'm racing through my words, all right? But we talked about mana ramp. Card draw is another major aspect to winning a game of Commander. So you may discard a card, get rid of some of the fat. If you do, draw a card that you're going to need. Second ability. You know what you need, Bobby Maximus? I'm going to talk to myself right here in third person. You know what you need, big fella, musclehead, in a game of Commander? You need more removal. Removal, removal, removal. Every single person on this planet needs at least one more removal spell in their Commander deck. This helps you remove an enchantment, a tapped artifact, or a tapped creature. It's fabulous. Now, we talked about mana ramp. We talked about card draw. If you've seen any of my series of Muscles and Magic the Gathering, you know the third one that I'm going to say. You know what you need in your deck as well? Tutors. Add more tutors. Look at this. Search your library for an artifact or creature card. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. It gains haste. Return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. You get a Nulamog, you get a Portal for X. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter if it goes back to your hand. It is going to be game over. But it's better also in your hand than in your deck. I think people look at this like, oh, that's not that great. This is absolutely incredible, this card, with all the three modes, if you will. Get one of those. Lightning, the Army of One. I love Universes Beyond. Final Fantasy has an argument of the greatest Universes Beyond set of all time. Tons of playable cards. Lightning Army of One was a bit of a sleeper. People are looking at Sephiroth. People are looking at Vivi. But this card does real work. It's got a low casting cost. It's a 3/2. It's got First Strike, Trample, and Lifelink. Whenever Lightning deals combat damage to a player until your next turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or a permanent that player controls, it deals double the damage instead. Damage doublers are huge. Now, people look for win cons, right? What's the win con of your deck? What's the win con of your deck? You know what the win con of my deck is? Old school combat and damage, and do double the damage. It's absolutely massive. Do not sleep on it. This card is bonkers. Speaking of that, old school combat, the queen of combat, the angel on high herself, Aurelia, the war leader, flying, vigilance, haste. Whenever Aurelia, the war leader, attacks for the first time each turn, untap creatures you control, you get an additional attack phase. That's a win con in and of itself. That is a game-ending ability right there. It's got a pretty big casting cost of 6, but I promise you, for that extra attack, it is worth every penny. I use that in a lot of my decks. It is stellar. Aurelia, the war leader. We've got Gisela, the Blade of Gold Knight. I fished this out of my little pile because we're going to go the angel theme here. Massive casting cost, but in this case, it is worth it as well. Flying, First Strike, and it's a 5/5. That's massive. But if a source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent opponent controls, that source deals double the damage instead. That's a game ender. That's a win con. This card is an auto include in your Boros deck. Trust me, you stack Gisela and Aurelia together, it is game over for any opponent you're going to play. But if that's not enough for you, if that doesn't convince you to put Gisela in your deck, if a source would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent half that damage rounded up. So half the damage to you is half. Like it's that made no sense what I just said. All the damage to you is half. It's a crazy card. It's a great card. Put it in your deck right now. Trust me on that. We have the Windcrag Siege. As this enchantment enters, choose Mardu or Jeskai. Mardu. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. That comes in really handy in certain types of decks. All right, now, kind of hit my mic there. I apologize about that. I'm a little clumsy, but I was excited to show you Kalia of the Vast. Fine. Whenever Kalia of the Vast attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking that opponent. This gives you that extra trigger. Huge. And it works with all kinds of cards. But you can also use it for Jeskai. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste till the end of turn. I love tokens in a game of Commander. Sometimes tokens win you the game. No joke. All right. So, Windcrag's Siege, super versatile, super useful card. Lord of the Rings making an appearance again. I got to tell you, I said Final Fantasy was one of the best Universes Beyond sets ever, but I actually, the more I think about it, number one is Lord of the Rings. It is for playability. It is bonkers. I really, really hope with The Hobbit coming out, it's just as good, if not better. All right, but create X 2/2 red human knight creature tokens, trample and haste. That's massive. You dump a bunch of mana in this, it is huge. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to one or more players this turn, you become the monarch, which really, really helps with card draw. This card here and this card here, put those in your Boros deck. Trust me, Lord of the Rings forever. The Fellowship of the Ring, they work really, really well. 3 cards left. Next one up, silly looking card. This card can't be that great, right? Comet Stellar Pup from Infinity. It's one of the best planeswalkers ever. All right? It's got 5 loyalty counters. You pay nothing, so no loyalty counters. You roll a 6-sided die. 1 or 2, you get a +2. You create 2 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. They gain haste till the end of turn. That's a great deal. I already talked to you about tokens. 3, -1. Then return a card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Huge graveyard recursion. 4 or 5. Comet Stellar Pup deals damage equal to the number of loyalty counters on them to a creature or a player. Then -2. And that is also great. Why? Doing damage to people. It's like a lightning bolt kind of on a stick, but maybe more. And then if you roll a 6, you get a +1, and you may activate Comet Stellar Pup's loyalty ability 2 more times this turn. It is huge with all the modes on this card. You roll a 6, you can do it a bunch of times. So Comet Stellar Pup, it looks silly, it looks ridiculous. I'm here to tell you it is insanely powerful. Boros Charm. You need a Boros Charm. I actually need more of these. I got to put a list. I got to put this on my list with Taunt, the Ramparts. I'm actually going to write that down right now because I need more Boros Charms. Choose one. Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player. Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player. That can win you the game on its own. I almost lost my train of thought there. I apologize, all right? It's been a very long day, but this card, you do 4 damage to a target player. That can win you the game. I've won the game with this card. Or permanents you control are indestructible this turn. That is huge for protection, all right? Someone's getting the better of you. You slap this down. Prevents board wipes. Awesome. Or target creature gains double strike until the end of turn. You have a massive creature, like say an ancient copper dragon, something like that. Do double strike. It is huge. These charms are underrated. Get some for your deck. The Rakdos charm is unreal as well. All right. Final card. Freya, the Queen of the Valkyries. That's actually not the name. It's Iroa's God of Victory, but it's a huge card. And I love Universes Beyond. I've said that. I love Secret Lair. So I actually ordered a bunch of the God of War ones. I think they're still up on the Secret Lair website. I would go get the God of War Norse package just for this card. Indestructible. As long as your devotion to red and white is less than 7, Freya isn't a creature. Creatures you control have menace, which is huge, and then prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. That means people can't hurt your creatures. That is huge in a game of Commander. And it has a low casting cost. And it's a 7/4. And it's a god. And it's indestructible. And the menace, like, wow. Save the best for last right there. That card is absolutely bonkers in a game of Commander. So let's review. We're going to call her Freya because I love the God of War. I am like the living embodiment of Kratos. Boy. We have the Boros Charm. We have Comet Stellar Pup. We have Taunt from the Rampart. Huge. Maybe the best card. 4th, Aerlingus. The Windcrag's Siege. Gisela, the Blade of Gold Knight. Absolutely great card. Aurelia, the War Leader. We have Lightning Army of One. I keep saying this, arguably the best card in this list. This is a stellar list. I got to tell you, we made one of these for Dimir. We made one for Golgari. We made one for every color pair. And in fact, in a few weeks, every color pair will be done. I think we have Azorius left to do it, every single color. But I thought Boros might be kind of weak, but looking at this card list, these are insane. And Nahiri the Harbinger, I keep saying this is the best card on the list. This is the best card on the list. But honestly, you're going to be hard-pressed in any color pair to find 10 cards that good. So there's your 10 cards. Remember, we had the lands, the Pillar Verge Pathway, the Sunbillow Verge, the Inspiring Vantage, the Arid Mesa, the Battlefield Forge, and the Plateau. Do not sleep on your land base. And we had the Talisman and the Signet. All right? We're not going to stop there, though. We've been talking about lands. We've been talking about mana rocks. We've been talking about card draw. I want to give you a little bit of extra information here, all right? You want to win a game of Commander? There's going to be some ways we're going to do it. And by the way, subscribe to Gerudo. It's your #1 place to come and play and meet friends and have a positive Magic the Gathering experience, because that's what we're all about here. We're not about rage bait. We're not about negativity. We're about enjoying all the love and the joy that this game has to offer. But you want to get better at a game of Commander right now? This can get pretty complicated, but I'm going to simplify it for you. A couple of areas. 5, actually. 1, you need more card draw. Card draw is everything in a game of Commander. More gas, faster the card goes. Number 2, you need tutors. Go get the cards you need for the combo pieces. Number 3, mana rocks, mana rocks, mana rocks. I'm not sleeping on that Talisman and that Signet. Like I said, you need those in your favorite Commander deck. They will help you. Mana rocks are huge. They are huge, okay? Have a good mana base, a good land base. Do not sleep on lands. And 5, as an overarching concept, stick to these basics. Stop trying to get complicated. Stop trying to be fancy. These are absolute 100, 1000% winning principles. So there you have it. Commander for Dummies, Bobby Maximus, in conjunction with, produced by, made with Gerudo, the #1 website for all things Magic the Gathering in the multiverse. I promise you that. I absolutely love it. Check out the site. Check out the YouTube. Subscribe. Follow all those things. Do me a favor. You guys are such great players. I've learned so much from you. In the comments right now, let me know your favorite Boros card. I want more Boros cards in this. Cards that aren't on the list. We can all learn together. I love going back and reading your comments because I get cards to add to my deck. So do that for me. And stay tuned for the next episode of Commander for Dummies with Bobby Maximus and with Gerudo.